concert for a contemporary Christian band, NeedtoBreathe. Exhale. Good. The band played 14 songs, including songs from their latest album, Rivers in the Wasteland, such as Difference Maker and Multiplied. Some of their biggest hits like Outsiders, Something Beautiful, and Keep Your Eyes Open, and a cover of Jackson 5's I Want You Back.
I do.
We'll talk later. The show was open to students, previews, and the general public, and was sold out. The night was a huge success, and the band even stated that they had gone ahead into their songs planned for the encore, because they were just having that much fun.
She was white, just trying to make the world shine a light. The people started talking, just to hear their own voice. Those people tried to accuse my father, saying he made the wrong choice.
Don't miss future performances here at CCU. Keep up to date with announcements and more at facebook.com/ccutv.
Sarah Hartland joins us this week on Something Political.
They say that history repeats itself if we don't learn from it. This has certainly proved true when it comes to the tragic mass shootings our country has seen over the past decade and a half. Columbine, Fort Hood, Aurora, Sandy Hook, Charleston, and most recently, Roseburg, Oregon. On October 4th, an Umpqua Community College student I will refrain from naming arrived on campus with 5 handguns, a semi-automatic rifle, 5 magazines of ammunition, and a flak jacket. During morning classes, he systematically murdered fellow students who identified themselves as Christian or otherwise religious. And within little more than 10 minutes, the shooter killed 9 people and himself. Every weapon in his arsenal was obtained legally. In the aftermath of this tragedy, President Obama said the following.
Somehow this has become routine. The reporting is routine. My response here at this podium ends up being routine. The conversation in the aftermath of it, we've become numb to this. There is a gun for roughly every man, woman, and child in America. So how can you, with a straight face, make the argument that more guns will make us safer? We know that states with the most gun laws tend to have the fewest gun deaths. So the notion that gun laws don't work or just will make it harder for law-abiding citizens and criminals will still get their guns, it's not borne out by the evidence. And of course, what's also routine is that somebody somewhere will comment and say, Obama politicized this issue. Well, this is something we should politicize. It is relevant to our common life together, to the body politic. This is a political choice that we make. To allow this to happen every few months in America. We collectively are answerable to those families who lose their loved ones because of our inaction.
And so it would seem the cycle continues. I could jump on the president's claim that states with the most gun laws have the fewest gun deaths. I could quote the founding fathers or cite instances of guns saving lives. But before I do any of those things, I have to pause and ask, when did tragedy become a springboard for debate? These incidents are not political case studies. They are horrific, real tragedies. And in a world where evil exists and where bad people, with whatever resources available, be they guns or knives or knuckles, will do evil things. Mr. President, it is you who are numb. It is you who is making this routine by repeatedly using shootings that have occurred during your administration as ammunition for your cause. America will no doubt continue debating these issues, but in doing so, we must be careful not to desensitize ourselves. Ecclesiastes says there is a time for everything. The time to discuss will come. Now is the time to mourn. Our prayers are with the victims' families and the entire Roseburg community. I'm Sarah Hartland, and this has been Something Political.
Thank you, Sarah. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel for updates on the broadcast and shows like Something Political.
Susan's back with us to wrap up our show with a Devo on how to renew your mind.
Romans 12:2 says, "Do not conform any longer to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind." Recently, I've been trying to be more aware of my thoughts, and what I discovered, whether positive or negative, the majority of my thoughts are me-focused, all about me. I can't do it. I stink at that. Or I need this and I want that. I. What I realized is that this type of thinking is more conformed to the pattern of this world and is not full of spiritual wisdom. Part of this realization came through reading through the book of James and while doing a 21-day brain detox that neuroscientist Dr. Carolyn Leaf outlines in her excellent book, Switch On Your Brain. In just 10 minutes a day, by going through a 5-step process based on biblical principles, she explains how you can change the neural pathways in your brain. It's amazing how powerful God's word is, that spiritually it renews your mind, and physically your brain literally becomes rewired. So today, instead of having so many I thoughts, let's try to shift our thinking to who and what we are thankful for. Think about who and how to help others in our life. So many of us spend time detoxing our bodies, which is great, but I would say equally important is detoxing our brain by renewing the mind through the power of God's word.
Thanks, Susan. And speaking of taking your thoughts captive and submitting them to Christ,
We don't want to keep you captive here any longer. If you've liked Dude Crew, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe.